My name's Josh Olin. I'm Treyarch's community manager, and I'm here to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops. The biggest difference is with the variety and just with the core content of what is in Black Ops. So the number one priority at Treyarch was to create brand new, fresh experiences and a variety of them. So if you think about the Call of Duty franchise as a whole, there's a lot of great entries in that franchise, but with that comes a lot of experiences that players have already had. So the last thing that we wanted to do was create duplicate experiences. You know, we didn't want to feel like we were recycling anything or that things were already done out. So anything that, whenever we were making our levels, we always kept it in the forefront of our minds, is that this needs to be fresh and new. So at Gamescom we showed off Payback, which we also showed at E3. That's where you're flying the helicopter, but that's a perfect example of this, where Call of Duty games have done aircraft in the past, but they've always been flying for you and you're gunning. Well, with Black Ops, you're flying and gunning the helicopter, which really does, it ratchets the intensity right up, and you really feel like you're in control as you're raining hell down from above. So that's the biggest thing that separates it. Of course, there's a really long laundry list of new innovations and improvements in like multiplayer and co-op, but those will have to be revealed later this year. Every Call of Duty game, of course, the goal is to ratchet the bar up that much higher across the board. So with intensity and quality and sound and visuals. So yeah, Black Ops is no different. At the beginning of the project, we refocused all of our studio efforts to develop exclusively Call of Duty, which was a big step for our studio and a big risk and a big investment. But it's really paid off, and I think that that's really put us in a great position to make some of the best work of our lives. So we've a dedicated co-op team, a dedicated multiplayer team, and a dedicated single-player team working on Black Ops right now, and that's as a result of our studio restructuring. Everything that you know about the Cold War is not what we're covering. We're covering the classified stuff, the stuff that you wouldn't hear about. And yes, it's a fictional story, but even World at War, our last World War II game that we made, that had a fictional story too. We weren't covering just the World War. We were following our specific squads of players. We had that already, but this time, the kind of fiction that we can create and just the kind of deep story and narrative that we're able to create because of these Black Ops teams, and just the focus, it was a shift in focus for the team as well. World at War, we had campaign co-op and all these other things that influenced the outcome of the single-player campaign. Now we don't have campaign co-op, so we really can focus on crafting a great one-on-one player experience, a really good story that's going to bring a single-player through a roller coaster of events. The crossbow is a great gun, and that's one of those things that came out of the Black Ops theme. It's you can use a normal crossbow bolt, or you could put the explosive tip crossbow bolts on, and that was another direct inspiration from one of the veterans we spoke with, Major John Plaster. He told us that one of his squad mates always went into a mission with a bow and arrow on his back, and these guys are being dropped behind enemy lines, so that's not an easy decision. And that means that they calculated and thought, yes, I need this. And it was mostly used for hunting, but if it were used for a stealth kill here and there, who's to say, right? So that really inspired us to make our crossbow. And then he would tell us about how they would modify their weapons and sometimes pack their own ammunition. So we got that cool explosive tip crossbow bolt and the incendiary shotgun rounds called Dragon's Breath. So a lot of great inspirations come from that era.